everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're meeting me for the first time, hello and welcome. My name is Ayanate and Njoku. I'm certified family life parent, preteen and teen coach. I help parents become intentional in their parenting journey, sharing daily tips from my expertise, experience, books I've authored, and coaching sessions for you as a parent and your preteens and teens, helping them build the social skills that they need to function in today's world. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about 6 boundaries for teenagers that they'll thank you for later. So when I was a teenager back in the Stone Age, our parents or my mom had lots of rules, don't come back home after 7, if you do this, you do this. We also had limits on how far we're supposed to go from home, who you could be with in the car, just rules here and there, about homework, when you should do your homework. And if you were a teenager, you know that we hated these rules. We felt like our parents were constantly babying us, and, often they were just stuck around our back. And we used to push limits, a lot. And of course, we were teenagers and we knew everything already, if you know what I mean. It wasn't until much later in life, that I realized my parents, and I'm sure all of us have realized now, our parents gave us the greatest gift that they could have given us. So what are boundaries and why are they important in the teen years? In the simplest form, boundaries are the invisible line, that helps you determine your behavior or how you want to be treated. During childhood, and especially during the preteen and teen years, parents often set boundaries to provide structure, to provide guidance, protection, and a sense of security for their kids. These limits often help teenagers to stay safe, and develop their own self-worth. Boundaries are important, for many reasons, including number 1, safety and security. Setting boundaries on activities or behavior can help keep your teens safe. Number 2, responsibility. Outlining expectations when it comes to schoolwork, chores, family rules, and earnings can help teens develop life skills and a strong work ethic. Number 3, healthy relationship. Boundaries teach teenagers about how to treat others and how others should treat them. Interpersonal boundaries can help us, with respectful treatment in friendship, romantic relationship, and other social interactions. Number 4, emotional well-being. These teenage years can be rocky, very rocky. Boundaries can provide some stability, when the rest of the world seems out of control. Knowing that there are certain, standards for respectful communication, adherence to family rules, and keeping a safe space can give our teenagers some stability during an uncertain time. While many teens often believe boundaries are just rules that stop them from having fun, establishing and enforcing boundaries help teenagers develop self-discipline, make responsible choices, and understand the consequences of their actions. Honestly, boundaries are love. Setting boundaries teaches our teenagers that they are valued, but even more importantly, that they should value themselves. A teen that understands their boundaries can let other people know who they are, what they stand for, and how they want to be treated, and what is the expected behavior. This can be important as teenagers are seeking out new friendship, romantic relationships. In addition to the positives that come with boundary settings, we have to keep in mind the complexities of the teenage brain and all the significant physical, emotional, and cognitive changes adolescents are going through this time. And our teenagers can sometimes make poor decisions, experience mood swings, and be forgetful, among so many other things on that long list, simply because they don't have the brain capacity to function effectively and successfully in these areas of their lives. A parent once asked me, how can I get my teen to follow through with my boundaries? And this is what I'm going to be sharing in this part, how to get our teenagers to buy into boundary settings. Let's be honest, no teenager ever will ever say thank you mom, thank you dad for setting these rules and ruining my fun. But that doesn't mean you can't make the process a little easier for both of you. So here are some few tips. The first one is establish clear rules and clear consequences. It's so easy to take the emotions out of enforcing rules when they are clear to both parties. So family meetings, you agree. Sometimes even writing them down in contract forms can help. There can be no surprises or negotiations when everybody understands the expectations. While this may seem too stringent, it can help make things less volatile. Ensure all parties are in agreement. That's number 2. We know that preteens and teens are going to test boundaries. All caregivers must understand the boundaries and adhere to them. If a grandparent or another trusted adult doesn't want to be the heavy, that's okay, but make sure they agree that they will inform you when your teenager breaks the rule. Boundaries only work if all parties have have a respect for them. The third one is stay positive. It may sound odd to say, but you should expect your teen to make some mistakes. In fact, you want them to. That's how they learn. Teenagers are trying to fit in, trying to find out who they are. They are more likely to have a few missteps along the way. Make sure you separate your dislike of a behavior or action from a dislike of your child. So even when our preteens and teens do something that is just too bad, we still have to remind them of their good qualities, and profess our unconditional love, and then enforce some consequences. Tell them you love them as often as you can, and teens are never too big or too old to need a hug. Include them in the boundary setting whenever possible. Some rules should be non-negotiable, like using a phone in your room, or using a phone when driving, or using drugs. But oftentimes we should consider our teens' point of view on some issues. When they ask to go somewhere, discuss what time might be reasonable for them to return back. If they want to buy something that seems outlandish, ask them why and how they are going to pay for it. The goal is for them to learn how to set boundaries on their own, one day. The third one is lead by example. Modeling is the most important thing we can do for our teenagers. They may seem like they are not listening to us, but they are always watching. The more you show them how healthy boundaries look like, the more they can employ this for themselves. And then I might cut the video here and make a part 2, but what type of boundaries should you be setting for your teenagers?